after-show entertainment. Afterbuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yes, Queen, yes!
Yes!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another after show for NXT right here on Afterbuzz TV. I'm Cathy Kelley, and joining me, as always,
We're not like most girls.
the Hobo.
I'm not like most girls. I have a beard.
You do. You got a fancy new jacket.
I got a new jacket.
And a new
I
shirt.
found it in a cardboard box and a new shirt, which I got from NXT.Spreadshirt.com.
That's
Whoa.
funny you should say that, because I also am wearing a shirt from NXT.Spreadshirt.com, which are all on sale right now for $15 thanks to Black Friday.
Hey.
But really quickly, you found a New Japan Pro Wrestling jacket in a cardboard box.
Yes, I did. I really did.
You gotta direct me to your cardboard boxes, dude.
I know where to look.
I see.
Is it in a
Probably-
cardboard box that you ordered from Japan?
No,
Whoa.
you can't get that. It says staff on the back. You can't get this ordered.
You stole
It
it.
does. Said staff.
Yes, it does.
No, I found this in a cardboard
You crossed
box.
out infection because you found it?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's a hazmat jacket.
Sitting next to the Hobo, Mark Donica.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Cathy Kelley. I am the Internet Soapbox Mark. You can find me on Twitter at Soapbox Mark. I am in the chat right now on the Afterbuzz TV account. Don't tell anybody. And also, you can follow us
Secret.
on Twitter at hashtag ABTVNXT.
Also, thanks to Danny P for my new Stewart.
Stuart.
That's a really nice Stewart too. Like it feels the
He's so
material's
fluffy, I
good.
want to die.
Don't die though. And
he's soft.
he's very soft.
And also, what else? The Lego Star Wars
Oh, the Lego
t-shirt
Star Wars shirt.
and the Bayley gimmick.
poster.
we're doing it. She said the Bayley gimmick.
Bayley gimmick.
Let's perform.
We have finally gotten her to really be in wrestling now. She was backstage all Sunday in the booth.
Yep.
I'm sure you heard plenty of wrestling lingo, soaked up the atmosphere.
Oh.
Hopefully
Now
that's the
you're-
only thing you soaked up.
I soaked up the grease on the pizza.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Talking about that.
Pizza was better this week.
was. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the NXT After Show, the first of the new set of tapings, and I guess the last set of tapings before we move into the takeover show in the UK. So excited for that and everything that's leading up to it. We start off tonight's episode with a special contract signing so big that Michael Cole came all the way down to Orlando just for it. So he announces, of course, we already know the matchup is going to be the NXT champ Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe. Two former friends who are unfortunately no longer.
Sad.
Yeah, it is sad. They've had years of friendship, and then it
A lot of years of friendship.
got destroyed.
Yeah.
But as Balor said later in the episode, you can't have friends or trust anyone in this industry.
It's that's a sad fact. It's a lonely
That's
life.
so sad.
It's a lonely life being a wrestler sometimes. You gotta watch your back a lot of the time, and I don't know, did you feel Michael Cole added a big match feel to this contract signing?
There
or-
were a lot of things that I felt like added a big feel to tonight's episode. Not only Michael Cole coming down, which just made it feel more like more significant, like we see on the main roster a lot of the time, but having Charles Robinson later in the episode to be there to just oversee everything the refereeing side has.
Well, yes, because the referee hasn't made the cleanest of calls in previous Eva Marie matches, so corporate wanted to make sure that there was no foul play. It was a great move.
Shout out to
Foul play? Like
Sam
murder?
Roberts. well, foul play can be a lot of stuff, but shout out to Sam Roberts and Katie Linendahl for Refgate. They pointed it out many a time whenever anything would go wrong. But we start off with the contract signing. Finn Balor comes out, gets on the mic, and he addresses Samoa Joe. It sounds like he's upset still. I mean, like, obviously.
You think so? Wouldn't you be? I mean, the friendship dates all the way back to when they were both sort of starting out.
The beginnings
here.
of their career, yeah.
Right, so it's got, like, a real history, 10, 15 years. Then now, all of it's thrown away for what?
Yeah.
Samoa Joe made a choice, and I wouldn't back that up. That's a crappy choice.
Mm-hmm. But greed can get to you. Especially, I mean, coming from Samoa Joe's side, your friend who you came up with gets this opportunity, and you feel like you're the better competitor, so why is he the champ?
I mean, it's somewhat fair to say, but it's all in how you handle that. I mean...
And he threw a tantrum.
He really did. He threw a big tantrum like a giant baby and kind of kiboshed his friend, and now we're having this whole thing. But he could have just kind of stuck in there and finally gotten his match and be a hero instead of being a jerk face.
But he is a jerk face now. That is a wrestling term, I think.
Yes, in wrestling there's faces and jerk faces.
Samoa Joe comes down to the ring, but won't even look Balor in the eyes. He gets up there, signs the contract, and just walks out of the ring.
I loved it so much. Like, I think the whole promo could have ended there. The segment.
Oh, this is even better though.
Yeah, I mean, it was smart because the ring was surrounded by referees. So in case anything, we all know how contract signings work.
Tables are usually flipped
or broken through. Yep. So there was plenty of precaution. Joe is a dangerous man. So some might say Joe's gonna kill you. So with that in mind, they have to take the appropriate precautions. So Joe got a one-up on Mr. Finn Balor by thinking it through all the way.
Yeah. Right, so he waited till he was away from the referees so he could cause the most damage and sort of play it into his hands, which was smart. Plus, I liked the look on all the referees' faces when he walked out of the ring and they went, What do we do?
Yeah.
What do we do? We expected the worst. And then it happened. So it kind of came around. But that split second of I don't know what we're supposed to do.
I mean, pulling Joe off of Finn was not an easy feat for them.
Ooh.
Right, he had that cocaine clutch locked in real tight.
Coina.
Coquina clutch.
Cocaine.
No, not cocainum. Let's just move on.
It's the accent.
I do miss Michael Cole's presence at NXT though, because we used to see him a lot more back when Tyson Kidd was down there. We saw him doing interviews with both Natty, Tyson. I feel like he used to be on the show a lot more.
I feel the same way. I mean, I guess they felt they just didn't need him. The roles kind of went to somebody else. I mean, Regal usually is that guy, but we all know that he's out recuperating from surgery. I hope that's very quick for him. I really hope that he's back on his feet and is rolled out of the performance center as soon as possible. But I mean, when in need, Michael Cole, why not?
Yeah.
I think this would have been a good opportunity to put Bloom out there.
Oh, true.
Just for something, especially with Breaking Ground, where people know that he is an authority figure. I think he would be, even though that's kind of changing the story for TV a little bit.
But people already know him. The fans of NXT know him because he used to be on commentary for so long.
Yeah, that too.
Right.
So
it's just transitioning him into a new role on NXT TV.
Yeah, I agree with that.
After the contract signing and Joe is finally pried off of Balor's unconscious body.
He's drooling on himself like an invalid. Terrible.
We see the Vaudevillains versus Dash and Dawson.
The rematch.
The rematch for the tag titles. What'd you think?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Great match. I really did not know which way this was going to go. I mean, it was a little shorter than I thought it would be for being a big rematch.
Yeah.
But
I think that worked to its benefit.
Yeah.
Worked to its benefit.
Hot contest.
What about you, Mark?
I figure the Vaudevillains asked for this rematch, and Dash and Dawson said yeah. So in this, there you go. In this match, we're seeing more, like, as great as the huge 20-minute contests are. You can dilute that. You can make that fine and pure and isolate it into a shorter contest with just as high stakes and just as interesting and intriguing an ending. And we saw everything essentially sped up by maybe 30% in terms of, like, psychology, not taking as much time. But the Vaudevillains presented a genuine threat to Dash and Dawson, and Dash and Dawson had to adapt. So we got to see a little bit more of their not fleety, but a little bit more of their heely sides. You see how they do anything in order to keep those belts now.
Yeah.
I think the Vaudevillains were in control for the majority of this contest. I mean, granted, Dash and Dawson started to put in work on the shoulder of Aiden English, but even that was short-lived, and then it turned into just the Vaudevillains sort of being in control, and the mechanics scrambling to try and keep up with them in order to hang on to the belts, which they just won. How bad it would have looked for them to have lost it now.
Yeah. Of course, Dash and Dawson end up retaining the tag titles, but another formidable tag team, Enzo and Cass, make their way to the ring. Yeah, we weren't really sure whether Cass was actually injured or that was just for storyline, but it's good to see them back, and they just start attacking.
They went hard. All day, all night.
All day ain't soft. Nothing soft about them.
No, I'm sorry. Nah, whatever. I, as much as I like seeing them return, we've been recently talking about an opportunity for JJ and Gable to step up into the title picture and have an amazing match.
It's tough when there are so many solid tag teams down at NXT right now. Like, either someone has to move up or someone has to get injured for you to have an opportunity.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the tag team belts are as much of that gateway as they were.
Well, it's an exciting time now because there are so many people down there that you really, as a fan, you don't know which way it's going to go in the future.
I feel that Cass and Enzo being inserted into the title picture was inevitable, but could we have gone with JJ and Gable first and then have Cass and Enzo sort of come in so that the length of recuperative time is longer?
Makes a little bit more sense.
That word inevitable will forever be tainted as far as title opportunities go.
Inevitable. Inevitable.
Literally evitable.
Literally. Literally.
So
figuratively.
After
Literally.
this match, Eva Marie is in Regal's office.
She just moved in.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Tom Phillips comes in with his mic and he asks her, why was this match inevitable? Because it's a weird thing for you to come back and just say your first week back. But Eva says it is time for the hottest, literally, prospect.
That's not...
It's time for
Literally.
a real woman to be the NXT Women's Champion.
That's not how English works.
Eva Marie says she has the support of all of the fans, including her Total Divas fans, moves a little bit to the side and shows the amount of gifts she has received. So much so that they have kind of taken over William Regal's office. And she gets one more gift as her new best friend, Nia Jax, comes over, someone else she has the support from, and bestows on her another gift after calling her Queen Eva.
It was, you know what's more important than gifts? Friendship. And here's me.
Friendship is the gift that keeps on giving.
It's the most powerful force in the world?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you know. Glad you remember. But my favorite part of this was Thank You, Queen. That was Eva Marie to Nia. So it's like, Queen Nia, yes! Yes, Queen Nia, yes! They watch the show.
They do.
Yes.
No, they do. Oh, yeah.
I know that a lot of you hate us saying that, but we love it so much.
Yes!
Yes.
Eva Marie looked like this truly was inevitable that she was going to win tonight, whether anyone liked it or not. She said she had corporate, she had the backing of the people, which is, I love that level of, you are not attached to reality at all.
But if you think about it, she does have a very large fan base, arguably bigger than Bayley's. It's just not necessarily the typical NXT fans that are on board with it. She has a large fan base of people that don't even watch wrestling because they watch her show on E!
Okay, I guess when you put it like
No,
that.
look at the numbers.
No,
it's a fact.
You're not wrong.
She has
wrong.
almost 1 million followers on Instagram. She does have a lot of fans.
Yep, she sure does. None of them are at NXT. None of them.
Yeah.
If she walks into that place and everyone is just waiting for her demise, I think she should bus some of those people in who are her fans. Just a big red section. Because that might even things out a little bit. Everybody in that house wants to see her fail. Wants to see her fail hard. But she won't give them the satisfaction, and it drives them insane.
Drove me insane.
Yes.
But we will talk about that match later tonight.
Promo was pretty crazy.
It was good.
We get a recap of last week, Asuka accepting Dana's invitation for a match. Of course, there was a little conniving between Dana and Emma, which we got to see.
Plotting, scheming.
That happen later in the episode. Elias Samson, we get a little promo of him playing the guitar. What do you think of this?
I liked how they just let it happen. There was no tags. There was coming soon, Elias, or returning soon, Elias Samson, or like the Drifter. Like there was no tags. It was just. It feels like he's like, hey man, camera dude, come back here. Let me play a little bit of guitar for you.
Very gritty.
Yeah, and black and white and different angles. It wasn't just like a flat promo. I liked the hook at the end was what it needs is what I am, and he seems very ambivalent in general. From this we have a more of an idea of who he is as a person, but not necessarily what side of the coin he might. I would actually like to, since he is a drifter, a guy who needs work, hire him to do a job for you. Hey, I need you to be in this tag match with me. Hey, I need you to beat this guy up. Hey, I need you to do this. So he's just like, it's just work.
Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Yeah,
That's him.
I don't know who wrote the song. I hope to think that he wrote the song because it referenced so many different talents down in NXT if you actually listen to the words. And so I wonder.
I want to go back
where
and
his
listen to that because
attention is.
when something is just so melodic, it's almost. I don't know.
Yeah, melodic.
So exciting
real
that it
melodic.
makes you cough.
Yeah, I'm choking. It was like somebody else on the Tonight Show, but that's pretty terrible. It sounded like he was making references to other members of the roster, both on the main Legends and NXT, and it made him stand out a little bit more. Because we've had musical promos before, but nothing that's so sort of like straight up.
Well,
It's either Honky Tonk Man or 3-man band. There's really nowhere kind of in between.
Or Aiden English, the artiste.
Fair enough.
artiste.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he had his shot. I guess we have to have somebody sing in NXT. It's not going to be in English. Samson, can you sing? So we just sort of throw him into the mix.
play the guitar.
We've seen him play the guitar live.
Is it different enough from the now one-man band?
Yes,
know.
because he can actually play. Like, I love Heath Slater and I love his character, but this
Like
is a
on
different...
Raw when he was about to strum and then they just needed to cut to music because they knew he couldn't.
That's pretty good. Anyone but you, Ryback. But that goes without saying, or that's beside the point. Excuse me, misspoke. I want to see more. That's what promos like this are supposed to do, and I feel it was successful.
Yeah.
I want to see more.
After this promo, Asuka comes down to the ring for her match against Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke is making her entrance, and while that happens and has Asuka's attention, Emma comes from behind and attacks her.
Well, she tried. She had to do it twice.
But she was successful in the end.
In the end, only because of a small tactical error on Asuka's part. If she had simply put Emma between herself and Dana, Emma would not have been able to attack her a second time. But because she was sort of slated between the two of them, Emma was able to recuperate after the kick, get up, go after the knee, and then snap in the Emma lock. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if you guys remember our show last week.
I wasn't here.
But you. I mean, I figured you would be a supportive team member and listen. But Hobo, I'm sorry. I believe you may remember what I said about the planning of this match, that it was never going to happen. And Asuka was going to get Asaka. Sorry, I've got Avatar on the brain. Asuka was going to get attacked either on her way to the ring or something, that this match wasn't going to happen yet. So
I'm kind of bummed that this match didn't happen again.
I think it would have been better if Dana kept her mouth shut, because she killed any of the momentum, along with Asuka getting up for the first time. Just the I hope you smiled enough. Because in 2 seconds, 1, 2, nope, it doesn't work that way. Because in 2 seconds, I'm gonna slap that smile off your face.
I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
And then while Emma was beating her down, playtime's over. Playtime is over.
Oh, and I think happy hour has started.
Oh, thank goodness. Let's go.
Yeah.
Speaking of happy hour, sponsored tonight. No.
I don't know why this is still a thing.
Because it gets heat.
I don't know. I'm not heated.
I personally love that Dana Brooke is still patting people on the head and just a general not nice human being.
Words. Censor. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I don't understand what the payoff is of this. What do, I guess, I don't know. Like, why? I don't know. So it's just too thin for me. Like, Asuka beat Dana before, so Dana wants to fight her again, but...
Asuka's up for the challenge. That's what it is.
Asuka just wants to beat her up again.
She wants to fight everyone.
She's
like, I did it wrong the first time because you're not dead. That's what Asuka's thinking.
Clearly.
I would love to hear that. I would love to hear that promo.
Yep. Okay, so after this segment backstage, we have Tom Phillips interviewing Bayley, and one of the greatest lines of the evening, if not just one of my favorite promos from Bayley in general. He asked, what is the difference between Bayley and Eva Marie? And Bayley said, I'm a wrestler and she's not.
Boom!
I think she hit the nail on the head. Any more than that really didn't need to be said. You can walk away at that point. I'm a wrestler, she's not. Bye-bye.
This is one of the strongest promos that I think Bayley's ever delivered as well.
Because it
was to the point. It was straight to the point and relatable.
But yeah, I think the fan base agreed with everything that she said.
Yeah,
it's real. I mean, it's Eva
real.
Marie is a star.
It's damn real.
It's also, as we've talked about on the show before, it's so hard being a babyface because you're essentially just regurgitating the same things over and over of, yeah, they're not a nice opponent, but I'm gonna do this to prove to everyone who's like me that we can do it. And this was not that. This was something completely different where you're hanging on every single one of her words and you're just wanting to scream at your TV or however you're watching your computer. Yes.
Yeah.
Bayley, you are awesome, and I am on your side.
Thank you, Bayley.
That's what you need. It starts with a hook. And then you're just with her the rest of the way.
Yeah. Apollo Crews versus Jessie Sorensen.
Well, you're skipping over something really important.
What did I skip over?
Mr. Sami Zayn.
Oh, yeah.
Returning to action sometime with like morose music playing over it. That was weird and random.
Shouldn't we be excited?
Oh, we are excited.
Well,
I saw
yeah,
the
but-
tweet and I favorited it and I wanted to favorite again, but I couldn't.
You should get a different account, and you can favorite it twice.
Fair enough.
Yes.
We can favorite on the Gimmick Pod
Yeah.
account.
Just do that then.
I will.
All right.
Anyways,
Thank you.
a long overdue return.
Seriously.
As long as he's healthy. Better to come back healthy than to come back too soon.
right.
And I'm glad to hear that he's
Getting there.
almost ready.
He's getting there.
Almost ready. We're about to have Sami Zayn back. Great. Fantastic.
Huge.
Soon is not soon enough.
No, maybe not.
We have we're not going to go into it now, but we have a little bit more information on that at the end of the show. I've got a little bit of news on that and other stuff.
Cool.
Sweet.
So now can we talk about Apollo Crews and Jessie Sorensen?
Okay.
Well, really quick, sorry. I just wanted to shout out. Sorry. I wanted to. The reason I brought it up was because on Twitter, Zio Adams tweeted at us during the show. Now we are watching the shows live again, so please feel free to live tweet us during the show, unlike before when we weren't. But Zio Adams said, "OMG, I like Sami Zayn return. I got goosebumps. I can't wait. Hashtag NXT team. Hashtag ABTV NXT." So remember, comment us during the show using the hashtag ABTV NXT, and we will shout you out during the show. Sorry, please continue. Actually, really, I'm sorry. 3 times. That's the comedy joke. Go ahead.
Crews gets on the mic
Funnier if you
after
explain it.
a very pretty finisher. Mark Donica.
Yeah,
Would you
no,
care
seriously.
to elaborate?
It was the spin out. It was a spin out back suplex bomb.
No.
No,
No.
he tossed him in the air and dropped him down in a bomb.
Yeah, it was.
It was a Blue Thunder bomb.
Yes. It's what did he call it? Alley-oop.
Alley-oop belly to back suplex is what he called it.
He put him on the ground and then he just did the 1, 2, 3.
From BoStaff Turtle on Twitter. Holy crap! That Apollo finish. ABTV NXT.
In case you didn't know, Apollo Crews is kind of strong.
Is he?
He's a little bit.
He looks pretty
a
big.
bit strong.
He's pretty strong. Yep.
Looks pretty strong in that. Okay. Anyway.
He's
But
powered
after
by
this
aliens.
match, Apollo has some choice words for Baron Corbin, who ruined his title shot against Finn Balor just a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Yep. So backstage, Corbin responded and he said to Apollo that Apollo is just the one guy who did the one thing that one time. And that's all he's ever going to be.
It's gonna be the answer to a trivia question.
It was a quick and to the point, bitter promo. That was great. We're seeing Baron coming back up.
That's all you need from Baron Corbin.
Yep. Quick and to the point.
Absolutely.
Not the vines backstage that were like, leave me alone. Get out of my way. Brood harder. What?
Do you think that he's kind of becoming a little bit likable?
As a character, I
Yeah.
think so. I think he's becoming that type of heel that people like. He's becoming that Sasha Banks type of heel where people can
Respect him.
respect it. Yeah. So people see that he's putting the work in and that he's improving. He's showing improvement. So I think that's why they'll cheer that they hate Baron, because he's making it so damn easy for them.
Yeah.
And that shows the work that he's doing to become that stronger heel, which is great.
Yeah.
I do say great a lot.
Great.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Great babe.
The final
Great babe.
inevitable match
Inevitable.
of
Literally.
the evening. 2 women's main events in a row, back to
Yeah,
back.
that's pretty great.
Cool.
But Eva Marie versus the NXT Women's Champ, Bayley. Eva Marie comes to the ring with her new bestie, Nia Jax,
The Queen.
Queen Nia. And just to make sure that there is no foul play during this matchup, Corporate has sent down Charles Robinson to oversee everything as far as reffing goes, which we find out was definitely needed during this match.
Oh, yeah.
Because Danilo, who was supposed to be the ref during this match, got pulled out of the ring by Nia Jax as Bayley was about to get the 3 count.
The whole this match was just a roller coaster.
This match, like, I almost had a heart attack multiple times because of this match.
We get a lot of excellent wrestling matches in NXT. This was an excellent.
This was a terrifying match.
This was an excellent sports entertainment match.
Yes.
The
story was told very, very well.
Yes, it was. Now, the wrestling in between that could be something left to be said. But the story that it told.
Even the wrestling helped the story.
It did. I would say that I'm not saying that it didn't.
Because
but from a technical standpoint.
Just the idea, and I'm sure a lot of people will back this up, the idea of a Eva Marie title reign just puts a bad taste in your mouth. And you see her wrestle in the ring, and it just doesn't help bolster your belief that she could be a good champion.
Do you think that Eva Marie being the NXT Women's Champ is inevitable because of how much heat they know she will get from it?
I don't necessarily think it's good heat. I don't know if people are going to tune in to want to see her lose. They may tune in to see her get her butt kicked, but I think a lot of people will go, now NXT has jumped the shark.
I think going with the corporate angle, there's a chance of making this interesting and engaging, because you get it makes sense. It, like, all of that story from her being total divas, it makes sense that the company would see its hottest commodity in NXT and want to reach out for branding stuff. Once you start, if we start seeing Eva Marie push more like total diva stuff on there, like, it works as a story, but then also it actually does kind of work. It works. It's a good heel thing to do.
You're right. Then you have an evil entity that is controlling things. You have somebody to blame other than Eva Marie, because there's a larger figurehead somewhere in this, and then you can make them materialize. But only if she wins does that really happen.
Although after Bayley retained the title at the end of this match, and we saw Nia Jax do her finisher on Bayley and hold up the title for a second, that
was great.
Made me want Nia to take the title.
I think that it seems like the agreement that Eva Marie and Nia are working under is, hey, help me get the title and I'll give you the first title defense.
Right. That I would like to know what Nia Jax is thinking, because she inserted herself into this match multiple times.
She has gotten to the top of the NXT Women's Division so fast.
Yeah.
And it's a push that in the past with guys it hasn't worked. We didn't like it when we saw Baron Corbin have this kind of push. We didn't like it when we saw Mojo Rawley have this kind of push. We didn't like it when we saw even Bull have this kind of push. But with Nia, it works.
Because Nia changes. Nia's not doing the same gimmick every time. She uses the same gimmick to perform a variety of different actions with it. She's not just shoulder, 3-point stance, tackle, stinger splash, and then thump, and then that's every match, or countdown and end of days, and then that's the end of your match. No, she's picking these women apart in different ways and using them and leading up to her finisher in different ways. As long as they're down on the ground, she's going to give them a leg drop.
Yeah.
But she has to get them down and keep them down long enough to do that.
I want to talk about for a second, because this is something that we saw on Twitter a lot, especially this past week, of the NXT fans, and were they being too distracting during this match?
I tune them out. I don't pay attention to them.
That's something
Almost
that
on purpose.
I personally can't do.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been watching so long, it's just like, if I want to focus on the action, I can just focus on all of the stuff going on in the ring, and I can tune out the chatting.
My biggest pet peeve is when people talk when I'm watching a TV show, and I feel like listening to chants somewhat becomes that.
Really?
Yeah.
Hadn't thought of it that way.
And sometimes they are good chants, especially when it's something that's relating to the match. It adds to it. But as we said, there was even a guy who was reading a book during the Eva Marie match, and that to me is just distracting.
Yes.
If any fans, as much as we see it mostly with the NXT crowd, they need to learn that the show's not about them.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the show is entertaining and they add to it, that's not an invitation to change it. And that's something that WWE's been dealing with for a while. And there are times when you do have to listen to the crowd.
The fans have had their heel turn.
They have, kind of. But there are times when you definitely have to listen to a crowd to gauge how a superstar is. But once it gets into that disrespectful, chanting for other people, reading a book, that's where it crosses the line.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's okay. I think Mick Foley wrote something recently about the NXT crowd.
That's what I was
ruining the
referencing
experience.
happened, yeah.
So just definitely give that a read. If you don't feel that way, you might that might start to creep in your head a little bit.
His idea behind it, I think, was very strong, but I think that there is a balance between participating and being a fan and ruining the experience for not just others there, but for people that are watching at home.
Because shows in Japan, like they're getting a little bit more animated.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the first times they did TV in Japan, everybody was sat still with their hands on their laps, waiting for that was good.
That's because that's what
cheer.
you do in Japan. That's what's respectful there.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
They're
even
the
with
most
that,
respectful.
it's still a good show and entertaining, and the beats are in the right spot, the cheers are in the right spot. It's a different type of contest. But
At the end of the day, wrestling isn't like a sitcom. You don't have to be told to laugh or to applaud or to have an aw moment.
Yeah, no, exactly. I agree with that.
That's how it should be. You shouldn't have to be told that stuff. But that's in the creation process of what you put on TV.
Yeah.
It's in the writing. It's in all of the thought you
So
put in the thing.
if they're writing this to be one way and the fans are trying to throw it,
then that's something you have to deal with.
but it's just the
writing
fans
process.
there. It's not the fans elsewhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes
That's the challenge.
I don't know quite where the line is. I don't know why people think they are more important. People think they're more important than what is happening in the ring.
Just because they paid a ticket.
Everyone thinks their opinions are the most important thing because it's the most important thing to them.
I want to shout out our chat really quick.
I'm
No, I know,
making
you
Who have some
general
great
observation.
opinions.
Just a joke.
It's just you have to be respectful and try and see the bigger picture. Everybody has got their own ideas of what should happen, but you can't change it. And you shouldn't think that you are better than somebody else because your idea is different. You have an idea. So does everybody else. That's why we're human. Everybody has ideas. You're not special because you have an idea. Try and enjoy it.
Apply to be a writer.
Do that.
They're looking for writers all the time. If you want to do something about it, do something about it.
Right. Go to a wrestling show, a local wrestling show, and tell them you're interested in trying to learn how they write their shows. Go find out. Don't just sit on your couch. Get out. Get out and go and do something. Accomplish something with your lives.
Out.
Get out.
But while I agree, and since we're running out of time, the having the strong corporate presence in here, I think they can only ramp it up to a degree where we even see Triple H out there, like keeping an eye on the match to make sure everything goes as planned. Or
I see Triple H being used in the other way.
Yeah.
He's the creator of NXT, therefore he would be protective of it. So you could create sort of him being the figurehead and the gatekeeper of NXT, and then other people coming in, other corporate entities coming in, and him trying to fight them, so to speak.
Yeah, okay. Either I think that there's room in this corporate Eva Marie storyline for more people, more higher ups, just because we see suits now more commonly on TV.
The best thing about NXT is there's so many different ways that it could go, and all of those possibilities are something that I think we'd all look forward to.
Yes, very exciting. Very exciting.
There's a lot less predictability and a lot more excitement.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's why at the end of this match where all of the regular like refs knocked out and people are interfering and everything was so like heart-stopping because it was like and Danilo kind of got a little bit of redemption by coming back after being thrown out and making the 3 count for Bayley. So go Danilo. So
he's the hero. He came back.
He did. He worked through his injury.
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
Overall, great episode of NXT. Thank you guys all for watching. But before we wrap up, we have some news and gossip.
Afterbuzz TV news. That's not me, but I just like doing it. So we got a couple of stories from this the last week in wrestling. Excuse me, one of the bigger ones. Last week there was the taping. We're starting to see all of the different shows work out now. This was the first one of that set. But 2 former TNA champions were backstage for the show. They brought their gear because that's what you do. So people
always bring your stuff.
Always bring your stuff. And that would be one Mr. Gunner and Austin Aries. Austin Aries is somebody that people want to see on NXT TV.
Yes,
and I think
we do.
it'd be so cool to see Austin Aries on NXT
moles.
TV. We haven't heard anything else aside from them being at the show, so cool. Let's keep it at that.
Because that's a choice we made, a conscious decision.
Yep.
Yes. Don't ruin it for us.
Yeah.
Well, no, because even when James Storm debuted, they announced it.
Right.
So we don't know yet.
Yeah.
And either way, so I mentioned earlier in the show, Sami Zayn was announced to be returning. He is going to be on the NXT tour of Europe. No word on if he's going to be wrestling or if he's just going to be there in an appearance capacity, but he's going to be at all of the NXT London or UK shows as well as TakeOver. So take that how you will. He might show up on TakeOver and give us an actual announcement of his real timetable.
If he's not completely healed yet, I would love to see him in a capacity where we still see him working for the company, like he went to Evolve and was helping scout talent and then got on their show. I like that for him.
No,
too.
he's great, especially
in the meantime,
in San Jose
when
he came out and just talked to everybody. That was awesome. And so going on from there, NXT made another signing this week. The man formerly known as La Sombra, Manuel Oropeza, was signed to NXT. We don't know. He as of right now, he's lost his mask. All of the pictures.
Where did it go?
I hate you. So far, all of the pictures with Triple H. Don't worry. Don't fret about it. We'll find it.
Okay.
It's fine.
He checked his luggage.
Oh,
That's
And
what
they
it
were like,
was.
they're doing promo shots.
American.
The first day you're here, and unfortunately,
You'll learn.
Bloody
You'll
American.
learn.
So he's going to be in with all the pictures that he took
Next
with Triple
America
H.
Airlines.
Oh, bloody hell. So all of the pictures that he took with Triple H, he was maskless.
Okay.
So we don't know if he's
Is he handsome?
he's pretty handsome. He's got a sweet almost eraser head, not eraser head, but you know what I mean, eraser haircut,
Like
Kid and Play.
Top.
Yeah, flat top. Just shut up. Anyway,
Unfortunately, there were also.
I need to stop telling you to shut up because that's happened before.
I don't care. Other people think it's insulting. I couldn't care less.
So unfortunately, the last thing to report, there's been no official word from WWE, but Solomon Crow has been removed from the active roster on NXT on the NXT page.
I heard as of today that they were.
They actually announced him? Okay, because the word going around on the street is that he requested his release, which we've seen happen before. We saw with the now Juice Robinson. And as sad as it is to not see him on NXT TV anymore, he's kind of been getting the short end of the stick recently. He was originally supposed to, or recently they paired him up with Zara Schreiber, and then of course she got released pretty publicly, and since then they've just been kind of figuring out something for him to do. He fought Apollo once and showed shades of a heel turn.
He'd been wrestling Apollo on some local shows.
Yeah, that's who he wrestled in Texas.
Yeah.
So he's been around. He just hasn't been on TV.
Yeah.
I think he's different. I think he was a breath of fresh air, and I am sad that he will not be a part of this show any longer. However, I really think that no matter where he goes, he's going to be an absolute asset. And I hope to wrestle him in the future.
Hey, man, he has some history in California, doesn't he?
Yeah. He certainly does with PWG. I mean, if we can manage to get him out here again, I'd love to take a crack at him.
Yeah, help him train. Or have him help train.
Sure.
Not you help him train. What am I saying? Bless your heart. Oh, boy.
Is that all the news and gossip for this week?
I mean, there was more, but that's sort of the best and brightest that I found, so, yeah.
Wow.
Yep. What a week.
Some other news.
Oh, actually, sorry. I know it's the several time that I've done that. But there's a rumor going around that Regal was indeed rumored to wrestle at TakeOver.
Against Tyler Breeze?
Just wrestle because NXT just released a new William Regal shirt.
Oh, yeah.
With the knuckles on it. Yeah. So it's like, why would you do that if he's barely on TV? But it would have been
because they know it'll sell.
Well, that too.
In the UK.
It's going to sell huge in the UK, but also if it's
super cool.
If it's his, like,
they're going to need some
match.
T-shirt printers over there because they're going to sell out.
Probably.
Sick burn, bro. But that is all of the news and gossip that I have for this week.
Awesome.
Haha.
We hope all of the people in America have a happy Thanksgiving and everyone else has a happy Thursday tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to our NXT After Show. Until next week, where can they find you guys?
They can find me on the Twitter at TrueHobo. ProWrestlingTees.com/Hobo has got a Black Friday event. Use the promo code Black Friday if you want to buy a shirt. Otherwise, NXT.Spreadshirt.com is running a sale as well.
We are. Everything is $15. All the shirts are $15, and some of the accessories, like the beer mugs, the coffee mugs, those are on sale. The iPhone cases, things of that nature. So yeah, check it out. NXT.Spreadshirt.com. Help us out. Help yourself. There's a lot of stuff that's related to us. So like the I'm a Hobo shirt, but the I'm a Cathy Kelley guy, which we actually have here. Oh, you threw it over there, so don't worry about it. No worries.
Mom.
Hi, Mama Kelly.
My mom's on the couch.
Doing her homework. Let's not disturb her. And there's also there's a whole bunch of just fun NXT stuff like Hug Bayley Hug, Smark, like the soft logo. It's pretty great. And also Solomon Krang for the forgotten, but the gone but not forgotten Solomon Crow. Because we always thought that he was the robot pulling the strings of Apollo Crews.
I still think he is!
Yeah, and this one was fun. It's available. All of these shirts are available in multiple colors.
You press the angry button.
And also, you can follow me on Twitter at SoapboxMark. A whole lot of stuff happening at the network with me, so make sure to follow me. Get all the updates. Miss Cathy Kelley.
You can find me on the Twitter at Catherine Kelley, on Instagram at Cathy Kelley. I did a special segment for Bleacher Report last week talking about the women's division down at NXT, so check that out online. Follow me here doing other after shows, and we will see you again next week.
Happy turkey.
Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Afterbuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the Afterbuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterbuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of Afterbuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.